Oh, g'day, Manaia.
Hi. Well, this is my first time on the
Hunch Couch.
The Hunch Couch.
It's nice, eh?
I'd heard this. There was a prophecy that foretold this couch's existence that I was told about a year ago, and I was like, I don't think it'll ever come into existence.
I thought exactly the same. We talked about it so much. It's got like little buttons on it. It's got like a mini fridge.
It's got one fewer buttons than it's meant to have.
Oh yeah, I can see it. It's underneath. Yeah, it's falling off.
That was as I brought that.
Oh jeez.
What do these do?
Yeah.
They're like hot buttons.
And apparently you can change them out, but...
Yeah, so you just... Golf clap.
Golf claps?
Yeah.
This is good because for the longest time in the ACC studio, there was like a weird desk thing that sat in front of the commentators, and it had buttons on them, and one of them was machine gun and one of them was oil slick. And I always pushed them every time I sat in front of them, but I don't know what they ever did.
No, they didn't. They were just fake buttons.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
There was no oil slick. I like to think that somewhere out there in the world, at Hampton Downs or something, an oil slick was being done.
The Export Beer Garden studio is a popular place for kick-ons.
Yeah.
I'm not going to... Do we know if there's an auxiliary input possibility here? Because that would be fantastic if we could somehow hook up a phone to that couch.
Oh, that'd be quite good.
Yeah, I'll have a look into that.
It's a pretty macked out couch, so I wouldn't be surprised.
There would be a way, but also we've got speakers in the ceiling. There's a JBL. There's a TV. Like there's no shortage of ways to make noise in here.
Yeah, that's true. It doesn't look like it's got a lot of bass either. I don't think.
No, they're very tinny. Listen to this.
Yep. Anyway, big weekend. You look a lot fresher than us, Manaia.
Yeah, I'm feeling good.
Yeah, well, you were off the back foot after your efforts the weekend before, though, weren't you?
Well, yeah. So you were with a person who I drunk dialed.
Yes.
A couple of Fridays ago. This is what happened. So Jerry's trying to bully me into losing weight, which you'll be familiar with, Mash.
Yes. That's what he does.
This is what he does. And so in an effort to do that, I hit a new PB, like the lightest I've been in years, 105.9, top of the dial, Port FM. And what happens to me every time I do that is a blowout immediately the next day, because you're like, treat yourself a little bit. So I did that impromptu blowout, no dinner, and lost Kate Britton from the Hauraki office.
Yes.
And she saved my phone as Kate B, as is Kate B from Export, dear partner and probably biggest client of the ACC. Yep. And so when I lost Kate Britton at about midnight in Ponsonby, and I rung Kate bars.
And you were like, I'm up because she contacted me and goes, was Manaia on the piss last night?
No, she replied to me and she goes, was that a pocket dial? I was like, no, I'm trying to find you.
I'm up the front G.
I'm up the front G.
To be fair, that's best case scenario. That reminds me of a situation where I had to transfer my partner Lauren a bunch of money while I was on the piss, and instead I transferred my ex-girlfriend's mother a whole bunch of money, and then I had to text her and go, hey, can I get that cash back?
Yeah. Oh, that's awkward.
Yeah, her name was also Lauren.
I was once at the pub.
Did you have Lauren's bank account details? Lauren, your ex-girlfriend's mum?
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know why. For some reason, that... I can't
there's too many. There's a lot of questions. We won't get into
there. But similar situation. But to be fairness to Kate Bars, great New Zealander.
Great New Zealander.
Could have been far worse.
Could have been a lot worse. Could have been a lot worse. We were once at the pub with Lee, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but he texted the wrong Greg in his phone because his brother's name's Greg, but also one of his mates' name's Greg. Yeah, and he's like, get Greg down here, and I won't say which was the wrong one, but the wrong one showed up. Yeah, and he showed up at the door to the pub, and Lee's like, shit.
And how do you get rid of someone you invited?
I know. I've heard of this happening a few times. I've got another mate, a group of girls all going out for brunch, and they invited the wrong. Let's say it was like a Sarah. They invited the wrong one. She showed up, and everyone's like, "Who the fuck invited her?" And also, why did she come? She doesn't really know anyone here. It's a tale as old as time.
Well, that's kind of what we felt like at the All Blacks game in the weekend when we were commentating from the Sistema lunchbox. Yeah. And all the other commentary teams were like, who invited these guys?
Yeah. Didn't they set up a thing for the French team and you guys?
Yeah, and the Frenchies didn't turn up.
Because they found out they were going to be outside. They went,
we are not sitting outside. And they all sat inside with heaters, and Mashy and I and Matt Heath sat outside in this Cave Creek type scaffolding platform.
Way up the top it seemed.
I thought that scaffolding platform as well might have been, I don't know, enough of a distance away to make me feel not too upset about the fact that we weren't inside, but no, it was right next to
everyone else.
So it did feel like a passive aggressive.
And they had drinks and food and stuff in each of their boxes, and we were just like, two plastic seats and a trestle table outside.
It's a fucking school project, mate.
It's commentary by the people for the people.
Yeah, this is true.
You know what I mean? Yeah, people always talk about, it's the people's bloody whatever.
Do we need to mention why we are all here, though, and why this podcast, the Agenda podcast, is finding its way onto the Hauraki Breakfast feed and stuff like that?
Yeah, well, it's the Hauraki Breakfast with an agenda this week because Jeremy Wells is on holiday with Philip Polkinghorn in Bali.
Genuinely sat next to him on a flight over there. And as is a long-held tradition at Radio Hauraki, they launched a search far and wide to find people to do the breakfast show and came up with just us from down the hallway.
Yep, correct. So we thought, this week it's the agenda Hauraki Breakfast specials all week.
And a lot of people might be thinking, look, that's lazy. You're double dipping just the same guys on both things. You're double dipping the same podcasts on both feeds. And to that, I would say we could go way lazier and just recycle the Hauraki Breakfast show and call it the podcast.
That's true.
So be grateful that we're not just doing that. And got to be honest, fellas, maybe later on in the week we do that.
Yeah, I think so.
Shit, this thing moves.
Okay, let's get into it. Live from the Export Beer Garden studio, this is the Agenda Hauraki Breakfast special for Monday, the 7th of July.
The Agenda Podcast, the home of sporting nonsense and claptrap.
And Hauraki
Brought to you by Export Ultra.
That was a great run from the man with the English name, but here come the French. Go, fuck you to the line. And they score the French. From one end of the field to the other, you wouldn't read about it. But it was Tom Spring who got on the outside of Geordie Barrett. And then they ran it back to the centre. Gail Facu was short, but the big number 8, Michael Couillard, scores for France, and France are ahead 8-0. Shit the bed. Christian Leo Willie, Barrett over the top to Jordan. Will Jordan scores. And the All Blacks strike straight back. It's 10 points to 5. As good Will Jordan dots down in the corner.
And Forsyth Bar Stadium is Hauraki G Lane.
Yep, there was some tight, clenching anusas around the stadium with France out to 10-0 lead. And the All Blacks strike back, and it was dog rolls charge down. They go to ground. They are gobbling clock. This is very un-All Blacks. It's not the All Black way, gobbling clock.
Desperate times, G Lane.
There's 10 seconds left on the clock. Again.
We are gobbling clock.
Don't do it, All Blacks. Run it.
We've succumbed. We have succumbed to gobbling clock.
That's it. Time is up. Sneakers has it. Sneakers goes deep too. Barrett kicks it into touch. And the All Blacks survive. 31 points to 27.
Went a bit mono in the middle there, didn't it?
Yeah.
It sent me off the side.
A couple of emasculating moments in that game. Now listening back to it, I can't remember a time where the All Blacks have gobbled clock and kicked the ball out. Like
I know that really upset me, and when we were commentating, because the classic clock gobble, go back, go down on a knee. And go backwards.
We were doing that.
Yeah, it really upset me.
I haven't seen that in a long time.
No.
We're used to seeing like the Los Pumas do that to us.
Yeah.
Or like the Aussies and it was not a pretty sight.
There were like 3 phases of that. Tossie did the best one. They passed it to him and he stood still and just bent over.
Yeah. It looked like
down then.
It looked like their training drill that they do.
Yes, where they're walking through.
And just recycle the ball quickly.
Yeah, that Tom Spring guy.
Yeah.
His dad, I think, is from Taranaki or something.
Thomas Lespring, we're calling him.
Yeah. What I loved was...
It's on the wing as well, the right wing, I think.
They put him up on the screen and they had his iwi on there. It was one of the funniest graphics I've ever seen in my life. It's like the French... I think he's the winger here.
Yeah.
And it's like Ngāti Kangunu, and you're like, who? Tom Spring. Yeah, okay. His dad's from the Naki.
Le Thomas. But I must admit, right within the first minute, when Severed Peace got knocked the F out when he came through, got his head in an awkward position on the French first 5, and we thought, he's all right. And he went to get up and then just fell straight back down again. You're like, uh-oh. You don't often see Severed Peace look like that.
Nah. And it was a real niggly, like to get an outside back injured that early is like...
you could feel a sigh from the entire nation coming over us as we just heard Maltese being lost.
Yeah, well...
They refunded them, though.
They did.
Bless the TAB, they refunded them.
Because I was thinking, geez, they're going to have a great night.
Because it was 57 seconds into the game.
Yeah, so I was on.
Killed like 3 of mine.
Yeah, I didn't kill mine. Mine's still in. But I was any player to score a hat trick. Someone
Jordan. You got done.
I got dudded by the refs, yeah. So when the TMO took that one off Will Jordan.
For the obstruction, which was not an obstruction.
Bizarre obstruction. That's one of those ones where there needs to be a bit of leeway in the way that it's adjudicated. It can't be letter of the law shit. And I know they'd be like, oh yeah, but he was obstructed, so then the guy outside him had to like cover that, and then, you know, the domino effect of all that. Fuck off, you know?
But also, only because it was a try. Like that stuff like that happens all the time in set pieces.
Yeah.
Further up the field, but they just let it go because it was a try. They micromanage it with the TMO.
Yeah.
And say it's not a try. Even the proctologist try. Like the vibe was he got it down.
In league, that would have been a try.
Totally would have been a try.
All
three of them would have been a try.
Yeah, I know. It's really annoying. So actually that score should probably have been a bit more comfortable than it was. But that wasn't. I feel like that score accurately reflected that game.
Yeah, it was a rusty old game for the ABs, but they always are. Like last year was the same against England in Dunedin.
If we'd won that by 27 points, I feel like that would have been a harsh result for the French.
Yeah, I don't remember anything about last year's game in Dunedin.
It was the English one. Remember we got the first try scorer. Severed Peace scored first.
Did he?
And then you had money on the English winger.
Manny Waboso,
that one, yeah.
It's an incredible recollection from you.
Yeah, how the hell do you... I can't...
Remember Manaia's multis?
You remember my multi. Last memory I have was Richie Moanga banging on a drum on a bus I wasn't on.
Yeah, that's
I wasn't
right.
even on that bus.
Yeah, and it was him and Shannon Frizzell. Yeah.
Me and Shannon Frizzell spent about an hour talking about how fantasy rugby would work.
And does it work like you and him said?
Nah.
Okay.
He had a really good... He thought about it quite a bit, and he had some really good stats and things that they would keep track of that they didn't when they brought it out this year. It was like... Because the hard part is, how do you quantify what a lock does over the course of a rugby game? But he was like, first player to the breakdown should be a point.
Yeah.
Points for all the different dark arts that he understands that I think most people don't.
Do you think
didn't do that.
Do you think it comes down to who's going to actually track all that data?
There'll be some trains. If Shannon Frizzell is, thinking about it, there'll be some train spotter out there who'd be willing to do it.
So looking at that Dunedin test match, you wouldn't have seen it, Manaia, because the halftime entertainment came out at the Sistema lunchbox, and they wheeled out like a 2 metre by 2 metre stage, like quite a small little stage.
Did they televise this?
No, with LED lights around the edge of it and a smoke machine. And you can imagine a 2 by 2 metre stage in the middle of a rugby field.
Small.
Very small.
Always the problem with halftime entertainment at rugby. Stage is very small.
And then a lady came out. I can only describe her dressed as a mirror ball, as a disco ball. Like full gown, but disco ball material.
Yes.
And then she stood on the stage.
They did show this.
And they uplit her.
Upskirted it.
The uplighting, like everyone knows, if you uplight someone, the shadows...
No favours.
Does you no favours.
Well, very troll-like. No disrespect to her, of course.
No, not her. The
lighting in general,
Well, for example, if you're trying to scare children around a campfire, you will often try to torture... exactly.
And then she sang a 3-song karaoke medley.
Starting with Cher, Believe.
And then and finished with Florence.
Did she sing it into a fan?
And pretty much. and did it with... finished with Florence and the Machine. We didn't quite know what we were looking at. And then they told everyone on the big screen to be prepared for a light show. There's going to be strobing lights. And what we worked out, there was no light show. The only light show was the lights coming off her mirrorball dress.
Well, what you were treated to there, and I think the halftime entertainment for whatever country, particularly for international tests, it needs to be a representation of the culture of that region. And you just saw a regional entertainment show.
That's true. We saw a 3-song karaoke set.
Just from
Not even the full song. It was 1.5 minutes of each song.
Yeah. I feel like, why didn't we get the Otago Highlanders guy shirtless up in the middle of the stage and singing their song? Like, even that would have been maybe
660, maybe
a little bit more.
660, yeah. I think they're still scarred from when they sung at State of Origin a few years ago.
Oh yeah,
and they got torn to shreds. Everyone's like, "Who the fuck is that? What they're doing over in New Zealand?"
Boo.
Yeah. I love that. They just got Sarah from up the road. Tell you what, she could sing pretty good. You should hear it. And then they got her down there.
But they forget, fucking in the South Island, people don't sing along. So you've got an issue where she would do one of those things before the chorus cranked up. It's like, everybody now.
I bless a few people. They got the lights out on their phones because they dimmed the lights in the stadium.
Yeah, it's because they felt bad.
Yeah.
You couldn't have even got, who's our mate? Mitch James down there?
Yeah, Mitch James would have got. He could have gone up there just with an acoustic guitar and belted a few tunes out. But anyway,
I thought he retired from music famously.
Oh yeah, he did too.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, a few injury issues. So for the All Blacks, obviously Severed Peace is going to be out for a few weeks.
Yeah.
But Dog Roll is under a bit of an injury. I got to hit a stiff Achilles.
Oh, dude, take a break.
Yeah,
take a break.
And then also Will Jordan apparently has got a bit of a tight hammy.
Yeah, the hammy was causing him some issues.
That's
apparently.
that's not good as well. He is so much better than everyone else.
In the air as well. Like a ball gets put up like a box kick or something like that, and it's pretty much a certainty that he's going to take it.
He's got that thing where when you watch him, you're like, what is he doing that everyone else isn't doing? Like, he just looks the same as everyone else. It's just he beats every defender. No one can tackle him.
Yeah.
He's got a touch of the Stephen Larkhams about him. There's nothing about him to look at where you're like, oh, that guy's just going to go through every available gap. But he does, every single time.
We were lucky enough to go to the captain's run on the Friday, Manaia, and one of the observations made were that the backs were split up from the forwards, of course, and then Willie Jordan was on his own. So they split as a team.
He's a different thing.
Yeah, he's a completely different thing. But maybe in hindsight now, we thought at the time it was because he's just better than everyone else. But in hindsight, maybe he was nursing a hammy injury.
Hammy's bone.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, because, I mean, he was only at fullback for 57 seconds of that game, and then he moved to the right wing.
It's probably the best thing for him.
Yeah, and then McKenzie came into fullback, who I thought played pretty well. Pretty bloody well, actually, at fullback.
Anyone you're concerned about?
Oh, look, Rieko Ioane didn't have a great game, I don't think. And I don't know if he belongs on the wing. I don't know if he's got that electric kind of that severed piece or that kind of even Damien McKenzie.
I think he's in a dangerous spot at the moment, Rieko, because the last game that they played, the Blues, was a little bit like that too, where it was like, where's Rieko Ioane? He scored a try. Yeah. And then you never saw anything else again.
And unfortunately, when people are under the microscope in the All Blacks, it means that like, anything that goes wrong is going to be called out.
People start looking for it.
But like, when you drop something off the kickoff, it's that type of thing.
Oh, yeah, that was
you
a
can't
shocker.
be doing.
Or it's like if you've been seen drinking at work and then any other error you make during that day, even if it was before you had your first beer, it's going to be pinned on you were drinking at work because you're under the spotlight.
Speaking from experience.
Yeah, dude. But he but the other thing that's precarious is that Billy Proctor essentially got named over Mark Talia, Caleb Clark.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because they had to move Rieko out to the wing, which dropped one of those two dudes off. So now you look at, if he doesn't have a great game, then does, Caleb Clark come in? Does Mark Talia? But they're both playing for the...
Yeah, no, Talia's out. Talia's either gone.
He's playing for the Barbarians or something.
Yeah. But it's Narawa, I think. Is he's in the mix as well?
He's in the squad, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the wider squad.
But I think probably best thing to happen for Rieko Ioane, not that he's, had a bad game, but is that Sever Reese thing, because now we're short a winger.
Yeah, he slips back into centre. Or do you stays on the wing? Stays on the wing. Great debut for the Red Lock district. Fabian Holland, the Dutch rudder.
Yeah.
He's a big unit when you're there live and you're watching him operate.
Yeah, no substitute for size,
and also no substitutes for him at all. He played all 80 minutes.
Yeah.
He's got a bit of fizz as well. Like he'll, if you win a penalty in the ruck or something like that, he'll get up and give a clap in the face of the opposition, and I enjoy that.
And our lineouts were great. Having another option in Tupuvai, the Mahi Monster at 6. I didn't see one line out we lost against our throw.
Nah. And we're sort of doing the...
That's a good point, actually.
We're doing blindside by committee with this All Blacks. We've been doing it since Shannon Frizzell left.
Yeah.
It's like we don't have an out-and-out bear on the side of the scrum. But what we've got is half of a number 6 in dog roll and half of a number 6 in Tupo Vai. And between the two of them, they make it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Summer Penny Fino went all right when he came on, but still... And I was looking for him to snap someone completely, but he never got. He was lining a few up, never got the chance.
They might not have had anyone small enough because he only drills tiny dudes.
Yeah, the human skewer.
Yeah. but he only skewers small meats. Chicken livers and things like that. It's not a spit roast.
He's like a yakitori. He's like just got a little bits of meat.
Yeah.
Hey, so many motorsport this morning on the Hauraki Breakfast. We were getting inundated with motorsport news, motor games news. Liam Lawson got T-boned in the first lap. He's out.
Oh, how did Van Giz
and we
up?
left the breakfast show, and the Giz was ahead with 10 laps to go in the Chicago NASCAR street race. That's the one he won in 2023.
I got to be honest, really enjoyed it. I know I slander motor games quite a bit. I really enjoyed watching that this morning.
With that first lap, there was a 6-car proper pile-up.
Yeah.
Up like smacking into each other, like parked cars.
I saw people getting overtaken.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, I know it's a street race, but I don't understand why they don't make the track wider.
Yeah, I guess
Shouldn't it be set up for as many overtakes as possible?
I guess so, but it's all about that pit stop strategy and fuel strategy and all that as well.
Fucking boring.
It's so true.
So he did end up winning.
He did. He won. Well,
Yeah.
and Scott Dixon won in IndyCars in Ohio.
Grot Dixon.
So Grot Dixon pulled it off, and old
And the young fella Armstrong,
Giz,
he
Armstrong.
came in at
Rod
7 as
Armstrong.
well.
Yep.
Okay,
So
geez,
from
what a
Armstrong
morning it
Motors.
was. And then, of course, Liam Lawson just got absolutely slapped out of the race last night.
Yeah,
in the first lap.
Sebastian Ocon, the Frenchman, getting his revenge for Saturday night but by all accounts, it was Yuki Tsunoda's fault, who swerved into Sebastian Ocon, who then in turn swerved into Liam Lawson, who lost his front wheel after that.
But
Can you think of a worse athletic season
than Lawson's.
Oh, no, I was actually going to say Yuki Tsunoda's.
When you say athletic, like
I know.
what do you mean?
Like,
Because I don't consider them athletes.
you don't consider a Formula One driver athlete?
Fuck no.
Really?
Anyone that sits down,
No, but they've got to put up with some G's.
get fucked. Sure, okay.
You got to be quite fit.
Do you? Because there's a lot of Americans that go on roller coasters that experience the exact same G's.
Yeah.
I would not consider them athletes.
Not over and over again, though. I think you have to
And
be
they're not
pretty
driving
fit.
it.
I think you have to be pretty fit to
that's
drive.
always their excuse. I don't buy it.
Otherwise, you'd get a Bombatti in there driving. I've never seen a Bombatti driving a Formula One
That's
car.
just a weight issue. Oh, and then the goofy shit where they tie their neck to a fucking post and then you're like, oh, see, athlete.
Yes, there is Formula One fans. Who are,
Scorching hot take.
yeah,
I'm gonna get rammed off the road.
You are. You
at
are.
some point.
And then someone's gonna go stick this in your neck.
Yeah.
So was it Yuki's fault? I don't know enough about
Well,
motor racing
apparently apparently what Sebastian Ocon was saying that he was getting out of the way of Yuki and he just went straight into Liam Lawson.
Yeah, but
Not even a lap in.
God, they're good at pointing fingers, Formula One drivers,
so
aren't they?
good. Lando Norris. Well, this is what's good about V8s and about NASCAR is you can hit each other around corners and it can play on. Whereas you hit each other in Formula One and bits just explode. The front of your car just explodes with a tiny touch.
Do they fix those? How often do they have to replace the whole car?
I don't think they're only allowed a certain amount. I think, but
do they design them in such a way that parts can break off? And
like the nose can just come off and come on again with the nose. And then
I saw that in the Formula One movie.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's nose came off.
Yeah. How was that movie? I haven't seen it.
I really enjoyed it.
Even for not a motor games fan.
Yeah. And I wonder if it's worth going to the movie. So this is not an ad for it, but it is worth seeing those kind of movies. Like the guy that directed Top Gun directed that, but
Jerry Bruckheimer as well produced it. I think.
I wonder if you followed Formula One, if you would enjoy it more or less. Because I had no idea what was going on, so I didn't know if it was legit or not.
But all the drivers were in it, eh? Like the strap on and
my missus goes, "Who's that? I know that guy. What's he been in?" I was like,
definitely would have been Charles Leclerc.
Formula One.
Because everyone's like, who's that guy?
Yeah, probably.
Charles Leclerc.
Probably was. Liam Lawson was in it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Liam Lawson walks past in one of the background shots. It's pretty cool.
One of the movie pods I was listening to the other day was saying that 38% of the people that are going to see that movie are ladies, which is pretty much breaking records.
It's Brad Pitt.
Yeah, it's Brad Pitt.
Exactly. But it's interesting, isn't it? How whatever.
It's not Gerard Depardieu.
A lot of the sports that dudes watch depends on how much tolerance their partner will have for it. And I think this movie is going to do a lot of favors for Formula One in that sense.
It already is pretty popular with the ladies.
It is, isn't it?
Yeah, because
it's glamorous.
Yeah, and you got Carlos Sainz, you got Charles Leclerc, you got George Russell. He's not my type, but George Russell with the kind of big puppy dog eyes.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like sports, you need a ball or a body flying through the air.
That's your prerequisite for sport.
Yeah, I think so. I'm trying to think of anything, ball or body flying through the air. Is there any sport that doesn't fit that other than motorsports? Can't think of one.
No, I think you've pretty much nailed that.
Darts?
Darts.
Well, yeah, but the darts flying through the air, I suppose.
Okay.
Is the
sort of ball, that's all.
Would you consider darts to be a sport?
I can... No, that's a game.
Snooker?
Game.
A game.
It's a game, I think. I think my thing is, do you sweat when you do it? Do you know what? I consider horse riding to be a sport. That's hard.
Yeah, but so is Formula One driving.
No, it's not.
Oh, you consider horse riding to be a sport, not Formula One driving.
What do you mean horse riding, though? Like, you mean like going on a trek through the bush on the back of an old donkey?
That hard. But that's not a sport because you're not
Equestrian?
competing against it. Yeah. Mark Todd, athlete.
You've lost it.
Or at least he was.
Right, can you push our YouTube channel, please, Lane?
Yeah, like we're on YouTube at the moment. If you want to use your eyes and your ears, just search Alternative Commentary Collective on YouTube. Every episode is up there. We're going to take a quick break because
take that quick break.
Take that quick break. Hey, we're going to take that quick break because we're going to talk about the wahines.
I can see Joe already is going to clip every single bit of me saying that motor game's not a sport. They're not athletes.
Yeah, that's great stuff. We were at the Crown Tavern in Frankton yesterday for Joe Jury's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Joe, by the way.
And we just dropped off the Star RV. God bless it. Hopefully it got a full clean down.
It was shivering, you said.
Yeah, it was shivering as we dropped it off. But just down the road was the Crown Tavern, and we went in there for lunch, and we got them to put on the Wahines, the NRLW. The Warriors' first return to after about 5 years, is it, away?
Yeah, I think pre-COVID.
Man, they carve off some territory in their 5 tackles.
It's end to end, eh?
It's end to end. Like they'd be in their 20 metre, and on the first tackle, by the third tackle, they are on the opposition's 10 metre line and on attack.
I didn't see it. Were they playing shorter halves?
I don't think so. But they also...
Pretty sure they play 35-minute halves.
The NRLW, they've got a thing around try celebrations now as well. Have you seen all the try celebrations?
Try July.
Yeah. Is it Try July? Is that what it's about?
It's a fundraiser. They donate a certain amount of money for every try celebration.
Yeah, and the Warriors scored and they all just lined up and all pulled the meanest pukanas you've ever seen.
Hell yeah.
Did you see that fantastic one from the other game that was going on with it was the milking the cow celebration that was done?
That was great.
An all-timer.
The milking the cow was controversial, but...
One woman got down on all fours and then a fellow teammate came up and milked her, really.
You know what? I reckon they should cancel you again for that. Just because they did that, you shouldn't be allowed on TV again for another year.
That's true.
Because they did that.
I hope someone apologised for that.
Yeah, you should.
Yeah. I'll apologise for that.
In terms of the game, it was 30 points to 6 in the end. The Roosters went away with it.
Well, they're the reigning champions.
The first half was promising, I have to say.
Half of our team haven't played obviously played in the NRLW because they haven't been there for a long time.
Yeah.
We had one girl who's won it before and then a lot of like sevens and union converts.
Yeah.
So, it's a pretty good effort.
I think it was quite a promising start, though. Like in terms of the score was harsh in the end. I think it was scoreless for the first 20 minutes or so, and then the Roosters scored just before halftime. And
so they got a good pounding though, didn't they?
They did get a pounding, yeah.
Why don't the
excuse me?
Why don't they follow the men's? Because all of them are affiliated with the men's team. There's no it's not like an Adelaide team in the competition or anything. Why don't they follow the men's team around and play in front of the men's crowds? You know what I mean? Like, why not play it in front of 60,000 at Homebush?
Do all of the franchises have women's teams?
No.
See,
that's probably why.
I think that's why it started in the middle of the season.
Yeah,
I think it's going to finish at the same time. So potentially they might play the grand final.
They are doing that, I think.
Yeah, so I think they're timing it for that, and I don't think that fits with the schedule to be to play on the same day.
That must be where they're trying to get to.
Yeah. Oh, I'd say so.
Because that's the best way to get people into the game. Because you go to a Warriors game and you end up watching the New South Wales Cup team, and then you're like, should I watch them when they're on TV next? And I think the same thing will happen there.
It'll be a great afternoon in Penrose if you got to the Wahine cracked up at about 5 o'clock, and then the Warriors followed on.
That game is played at pace.
Oh man,
at absolute pace.
A couple of big hits in there as well.
Yeah.
Some horrendous injuries from the NRLW across the weekend.
Oh, there was a broken elbow or something?
An elbow dislocation that I just have not recovered from. It was the full, you could see the humerus bone poking out, like pushing against the skin. And I follow this page called NRL Physio, which does updates on injuries and how long they can expect to be out. And he was like, might only be 6 weeks. I know it looks gruesome, but it's depending on whether she tore ligaments or anything.
Pop it back in, strap it up.
Back in, you might be right. Yeah.
Happy days.
You'd hope so.
I see. Also, India have absolutely pumped England by 336 runs in the second test to even up the series. And Chubman Gill with a double.
Yeah, 269 did he score in one of the innings?
Next level.
Is Tim Southey to blame?
I've got another one for you. Are the Indian cricket team better off without Virat Kohli?
Another hot take. Yep, we'll clip that up.
Yeah.
Thank you. Well done, Manaia.
Yeah. All right, hold on. Crash zoom on this one. I did it on the breakfast show last week. Do it again. Virat Kohli is massively overrated. The reason that India are doing better now is because he's not in the team anymore.
Okay.
And we've always known this. People have always tried to compare him to Kane Williamson, but he's never been as good as Kane Williamson.
I'm just changing my Instagram profile to private.
Ipso facto, New Zealand better than India.
In the West Indies, Mitchell Starc and Hazelwood have run through the West Indies to win by 133 runs. They were chasing 276 to win in that second test. So Australia go 2-0 up in that series as well. So, but I think I'd really like to watch the England-India series. Anyone know where I can watch it?
No.
VIPleague.com.
VIPleague.com? Is that an illegal one?
Yep.
Okay. Perfect, because there's no other way of watching it.
No, that's the only way that you can watch it, unfortunately.
I also sort of feel like we just had the World Test Championship. I feel like there should be a stand down on tests between, when the tournament finishes.
Yeah, but it's not a tournament though, is it? It's a championship, so you got like a...
Cricket's great at that. I feel like there's
just
always
a
weird series after a big game. Like, do you remember?
Cricket's weird.
No, cricket is weird. I don't know
Cricket's
why
weird. You don't try and get to the bottom of it.
Sorry.
It's a weird game played by weird people.
Nah, if I woke up tomorrow and you told me we just played Kenya to T30, I'd be like, yep.
Because when the women won the T20 World Cup, I remember they had a strange series before they got to come home or something like that.
Yeah.
They had to go to India.
Yeah. Okay. There you go. Right.
And couldn't come home and celebrate. Hey, if you want to celebrate this weekend, we are in Wellington for the second test match. We're going to be at Shed 22 from 6 o'clock. I don't know if it's sold out yet or not, but go have a look. Text Shed to 3236. We've got drink specials, entertainment, commentary live from the pub. And then again in the Tron at Roaming Giant, text ACC to 3236 to lock in your free spot thanks to the legends at Export Ultra. They're going to be some pretty legendary evenings there, so get in quick before it sells out. We'll take a quick break and we'll be back with some Yours Pleases.
Yours Please!
Yours Please! Brought to you by Export Ultra.
The beer for here!
Yeah, great work, boys.
Okay. Let's get into
Can we fix that in post?
Yeah.
No, I don't think
let's get it.
Can you fix that in post?
Also, this is for the Hauraki listeners out there as well. You can send in yours, please, too.
I forget they're here.
If you're listening on the iHeartradio app, there's a little microphone button in the right-hand corner. Press that and leave yours, please, and we'll play them out all this week, whether you're on the agenda feed or the Radio Hauraki Breakfast feed. We'll play them all. First one, yours, please.
G'day, mate.
G'day, mate.
Wilson here from the Dunedin Pirates.
Oh, well.
A massive thank you for you guys for coming down and watching us play footy on Saturday. We end up getting the win, 45-10. Then we went back into the changing rooms and saw all the beers he gave us. It means a lot. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoyed the All Blacks as well.
Thanks, Big Willie.
Big Willie's a great man.
Big Willie is a great New Zealander. We went there and watched it. We watched the Pirates pump the Sharks out there at Shark Park.
Yeah.
They call it seniors, which is it's seniors, but it's social seniors, because you got the Prems, then you got Div 1, then you got seniors.
Oh yeah.
So they were the seniors group, and
there's no such thing as social rugby. There's just rugby where you don't train.
Yeah.
But when you pull the jersey on and walk out there, it's not social.
Yeah, that's true.
But we'll never see more injuries than in social rugby.
But the Pirates are a good story. It's a club that haven't fielded a team in quite a number of years.
Yeah, right.
And they brought it all back. Paul Miller, former Highlander and one-time All Black, I believe, is behind it as well, along with Big Willie there. So we went out and watched that, and I managed to snake a Pirates hoodie, and we dropped off 10 dozen Export Ultras into the changing room. In the changing room, shit, it was good. It went in there and it was liniment and
I was at home.
It was a mixture of damp and liniment and just sweat.
Faint smell of banana.
Yeah, it was great stuff. Like half-eaten bananas all over the floor.
I feel bad for Wilson actually because Big Willie was ready to go after.
Post-match.
On Saturday night?
We'd left everything the night before. We'd left everything in the octagon the night before.
Yeah.
So I do owe a bit of an apology to Big Willie while we've got his attention actually. Sorry, mate. Next time we will. Be sure to back it up and put a bit of effort in.
Great New Zealander and up the Pirates.
And shout out to you, mate.
Was that sent from the cab of a tractor too? It sounded like he's in a tractor. God bless.
Next one, yours please.
G'day G Lane, tuning in from Christchurch here. Just bringing you back to strip club chat.
Yep.
Please.
What are we doing? Top 3 New Zealand strip clubs. Where are we going?
I haven't been to the Peelers. You might not believe this.
Yeah.
I haven't been to the Peelers for quite some time.
I don't believe it.
I don't believe it.
So, I mean, the old classic was Firecats in Hamilton, because as a teenager, early 20s, that was your go-to down there, and with Darjay and Sexy Lexi and
the girls.
and Sapphire and the girls.
Yeah.
Was Mermaids as good as it sounded?
Mermaids was terrible. Mermaids, the idea of Mermaids was great.
Yeah.
But then you go in there and there was like someone in a snorkel and mask hating life.
Lee Hart cleaning the tank.
Yeah, Lee Hart trying to clean the tank. Because you know how difficult it is to clean fish tanks. You know, it's like got the green slime and shit all over it. I reckon that lasted about 6 months until they worked out that there was nothing hot about that.
Fuck, what a ball ache too. Like, imagine, God, you would not want to work there as a stripper.
Oh,
Nah.
Like, on top, it's already quite like a hazardous profession. Now pile on a drowning hazard on top of that.
Yeah.
Like, you wouldn't want that. I went to Dream Girls in Dunedin. No, Wellington. And they were...
Your dream girls?
They were not my dream girls, no.
No, okay.
I had an awful interaction with one of them where someone gave me money and they said, put it in your mouth, and she's going to come over. She was standing on our table, and then she pulled out her like G-string, and then I put the money in down the front of it with my mouth. I woke up the next morning with the biggest zit on my nose. But the worst part, for her at least, was she pulled the thing out and it was a $1 note. She's like, ooh, $1. You grub. I was like, oh, fucking, there's no winner here in this situation, you know? It's disaster. So that's not in the top 3.
No.
If you want an earnest answer, I think Shoeies here in Auckland's pretty good.
okay.
Yeah, I'd recommend Shoeies here in Auckland. I think that's probably, it's because it's the busiest. Because you know when you go into
it's a block away from it.
Into a Peelers and it's just a bit eerie and quiet.
But it's got a bit of something, you reckon?
It's got a bit of energy at least.
When it's not on fire.
True that.
That one is where it's like one of the main bus stops for all the commuters that work in the city that want to head out of the city west.
Some interesting
generally.
cats.
But the problem is the tourist bus also comes past there, and they're giving the tour, and they roll straight past you, and you're just a guy standing outside the door of the strippers at 3 p.m, and they're like, and here's one of the locals. He's just off to the thing.
That is the worst part about that Shoeies down there is that it's just in such a central part of Auckland. So and there's quite often a line at the front of it. So you do have to run the gauntlet a little bit and just hope that no one's walking past and sees you in a line too.
I feel like we've told the White House story too recently to retell it, but
yeah, you have.
That is one of the all-timers.
Okay, next one. Let's move on. Yours, please.
G'day, mate. Jimmo here. Does anyone else fucking wee on their girlfriend while they're in the shower? Like when they can't notice it, and then they just all they notice is the smell, and then they're like, you weed on me. Yeah, no, I fucking love that. That's my favourite thing to do. Love yous, fuck yous. Yeah,
well, that's the inspiration. That's boarding school behaviour, like that used to happen quite a lot at boarding school. But I've never done it to the missus.
No.
Well, first of all, let's draw a line over it. Missus never showers with me, so it's not an opportunity.
I'd love to have the opportunity.
Yeah, I'd love to have the opportunity to do it, but no.
Do you know, actually, look, an insight to my life is I had a shower with my missus last night.
Oh.
And I was quite excited about it. I thought, you beauty. And then we proceeded to talk about the work trip we were just on for 20 minutes. And then she got out and went to bed and rolled over and nothing happened.
Should have weed on her.
I should have weed on her. I feel like Jimmy, though, is enjoying it a little bit too much.
Yeah, I think there's something in that.
There is a thing that they've done studies that annoying your girlfriend releases like so much dopamine in your brain. This is why dudes you just love pissing your girlfriend off. Just annoying little, like, if we're both in the kitchen, she's trying to pick something up, just sort of knock it out of her hand.
I did it for ages. I used to just do the subtle push into a pole.
Yeah.
Like you'd be walking along talking.
That's a good one.
Or you enter a wall and just
nudge her into a bush.
Walk him into the wall.
Yep. If she's on her phone and I can see she doesn't have a great grip on it, I'll just knock it out of her hand. That kind of thing. She dropped it the other day and I kicked it across the lounge. Just there's something about in dudes' brains that just, God, it feels good.
It's just danger, isn't it?
Just minor annoyance.
If I'm driving and she's been a passenger princess, I'll just do a quick swerve to piss her off or something like that for no reason. Yeah.
Pump the brakes while she's trying to take a drink out of her Frank Green.
But I'm not weeing on her.
Nah.
Yet.
Okay, next one, yours, please.
Yeah, g'day, fellas.
G'day, mate.
By no means is this an accusation, but Mike Lane, hats off to you if this is in fact true. But have you ever worked in a job that required you to actually be productive, or is your life just one sedacious attempt to basically get paid to piss up and talk shit? If so,
So he ran out of time.
Yeah, he did run out of time, unfortunately, because he probably would have picked apart the rest of my life.
Both can be true.
Yeah.
Both can be true. Remember there was a comment was it on Reddit or something in the last month? And it was like, do the ACC actually do anything other than just fly around the world and piss up? And it's like, unfortunately, we do, and that's the problem.
Yeah.
If it were up to us.
What did he say in the middle there about a job?
Do you have a job that actually requires you to be productive?
Oh, be productive.
I wonder if this is off the back of the fact. I wonder what story this is off the back of, because you've told a couple of good stories recently. I imagine it's the Fergie twerking story that he's.
Yeah, the Fergie twerking one was one of the greats. But we were quite productive over there because we had to build an entire concert. So that was just one part of it. Was I found myself head on in a head-on incident with Fergie's part. Yeah.
Fergie twerking.
And her turning around and going, is that all good? And us going,
yeah, no, that's a tough situation to be in.
No, it's all good.
Fergie Twerkers is a great name for a pub quiz or something.
Fergie Twerkers.
The twerking Fergies.
But those allegations are fair, I think.
Well, they are, but also, like, you're telling the Fergie twerking story on the podcast. What you're not telling is the, like, health and safety risk assessment form story. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, all that stuff happens too. It's just fucking boring to listen to, so you don't talk about it on a podcast.
Yeah, I'm going to talk about the stuff that's going to interest you. Which,
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Once got in a fight with... no. It was a Spanish tennis player.
Didn't you get in a twerk off?
I got in a twerk off.
Nadal.
With Nadal? Didn't you give Carlos Alcaraz a hiding when he was a ball boy?
No, David Ferrer was his name.
David
Ferrer.
Yeah.
And for some reason we got an altercation with him at the after party for the Shanghai Masters or whatever that he was at. And one of the guys knew Spanish and might have said something. And all of a sudden it was all on. And we were like, we're the contractors that's running the event. And we got he was world number 4 or something at the time. And he's coming at us. And we're like, holy shit.
Put up the jokes. Fergie's twerking in the background.
Fergie's twerking. No, that was a different one.
Will Pedersen's in the corner and you're folding him into a go-kart.
Yeah, Will.i.am's just partying.
Moonwalks through.
Yeah. Do we have any more? One more, yours, please.
Hey, fellas. Would it be to chuck up the rugby commentaries as podcast, like do the cricket? Often can't catch the game live and can't see the old missionary. Yeah, that'd be great. All right. Fuck Winton. Sure.
Okay, there you go. Well,
tough line there, but
what he was saying there is, can we, like we did with the cricket, we put the cricket up as a podcast in a highlights form.
A lot less downtime in a game of international rugby, though.
Yeah, but I mean, look,
put the whole thing up, then you can sync it with the replay.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, just put the whole thing up. We'll do that.
3 people will listen to it, but
we'll look to do that. If there's demand out there, if you want to hear a full replay of the rugby commentary, then we can. I'm sure we can do that.
You put it up and call it "Never Go Full Replay."
Never go full replay. Never go full. Maybe it should just be highlights. I don't know. Was there anything incriminating in there? I can't remember. I can't quite remember.
I can't remember much things about that trip.
Yeah,
so hungover at that stage.
Oh yeah, the Friday night. The Friday night we massively overcooked.
I selfishly enjoyed watching all of the coverage and everything. Having been on countless ones of these, I have a real clear insight into what is actually happening and what isn't. I was getting texts coming through at about midnight on the Friday night.
Yeah.
Photos at pubs with Negronis and things like that. I was just like, it was good to watch from afar. I had a lot of FOMO, but then I was also very happy to be up on my couch.
Yes, when you woke up on Saturday morning, fresh as a daisy, and went for a walk. And
went down the driving range, had a few balls, went out for brunch. It was great.
Yeah, there you go. That's that's the yours, please. So if you want to send in yours, please, you Hauraki listeners out there, just whack the microphone button on the right-hand corner there. We're all back tomorrow morning from 6 a.m.
Yes.
On Radio Hauraki.
5:30, fellas, if we could.
Yeah, I mean,
on air.
I was late this morning.
On air.
Oh, well, you sort of walked in a little lazy. I
was about 5 minutes late.
You were 5:30.
It was mash.
Wait, what time did you boys get there?
I was there from about 4.
3.
Good for you.
3. I came in with Hosking. He gave me a lift.
Did he?
Yeah.
I found this is one of the great things about breakfast radio is that no one knows when you got there or not. So if your boss asks, I was there from about 3.
It's one of the great ruses because when I was in charge of Hauraki, I had to change my hours because there was some stuff going on at home that meant I had to be home at like 2:30 every day.
Yeah.
For a while. So I was coming to work just before 6 o'clock, and after years of Matt Heath telling me he used to come to work at 4:30 and start prepping, that's what he tells all the listeners, and at least gets in at 5, whatever. And I knew they didn't. And then sure enough, both Wells and Heath walk in the studio at about 45 seconds to 6.
Yeah.
I think the news sting is playing.
Yeah.
And then, but they'd see me there, you go, oh, fuck, running late. Oh. It's like, no, I know you're not running late. It's all right.
We came in on Friday and Australian content director Pixie Campbell was in the office already. I was honestly scared to piss out of me.
That's one of the most common questions a breakfast host will get when out and about is, what time do you have to get up in the morning? And
do you lie? Because I lie.
I lie.
Do you?
Yeah.
You say 4:30?
Yeah.
Do you?
Yeah.
I think I always said about 5 o'clock.
My alarm goes off at 5 and I get up straight away and I wake up like a lion and get up and teeth brush, hair done, down and out the door by 15:15.
Yeah.
15-minute white knuckle ride into work and then there and ready to go.
That's the way to go.
But I tell people my alarm's set for 4, but it's not.
But when you've got punishes at home, I'm not getting up. Doing breakfast now, I'm not getting up much earlier. I reckon 20 minutes earlier than usual.
Yeah.
Which is not a big deal.
Yeah. No, 6 a.m. is not that early really anymore, is it?
Nah. And people always go, oh, what we ask of our breakfast hosts is unnatural. It's like, it's not like I have to milk in the afternoon as well. You know what I mean?
Just go play golf.
Shift the break. Yeah, I just go play golf.
It's tough life.
Fucking not that hard.
Okay, we'll be back tomorrow. We'll talk to you then.
All right.
You've been listening to the ACC's Agenda podcast, brought to you by Export Ultra. For more episodes, like and follow on iHeartradio or wherever you get your podcasts.